Where's the volume? Alas, it is time again to go into Yawn Bigfoot Sasquatch Forest. Yawn Bigfoot Sasquatch Forest. Yawn Bigfoot Sasquatch Forest. Yawn Bigfoot Sasquatch Forest. I cannot promise you that we will see or that we will hear anything. What I can promise you is that should you go with me past this point, this will be 12 to 15 minutes of your life you will never, ever, ever get back. Is that too much time for you? What if I put it to you this way? 7 seconds of your life you'll never get back. 7 seconds of your life you'll never get back. 7 seconds of your life you'll never get back. 7 seconds of your life you'll never get back. 7 seconds of your life you'll never... What? It's a bird. It's a bird. It's a bird. As always, if you go with me, I'm going to ask you to get my 6. That means look behind me. 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 You know, my concern today is not so much Bigfoot Sasquatch. So I believe with our crayons, we may have been successfully keeping him, her, it, or they away. So my concern is not so much about today as it is the future. To quote one of the greatest lines from one of the greatest movies ever, that movie being Plan 9 from Outer Space, that quote being, in the future, you will be affected by things in the future. What's that? Right there.
Right there, 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 right there.
I think it's just a bend in a tree. My research today, which was quite thorough, I cross-referenced Google results with other Google results. And what I found is that these stories about Bigfoot Sasquatch have been around for more than 3,000 years. However, with the mindset of some of the younger generation, once these stories are gone from the previous generation, they may be gone forever. Because of people's attention spans being so short, according to the research I found on Google, which I cross-referenced with other research from Google. So, what's that?
Right there, 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 right there.
It looked like perhaps a Bigfoot Sasquatch structure, but upon closer inspection, it might be one of those X's they make to mark their territory. So my point here, though, is this. It's not so much that we have to communicate with Bigfoot Sasquatch. That's been getting done. We've been doing that here. My concern is that we've got to be able to communicate with the next generation to continue the continuation of continued dialogue between modern human people and Bigfoot Sasquatch so that the conversation can be continued. Because without this, there will be no continuation. So once the storytellers from the current generation of Squatchers are gone, who's going to fill their shoes? 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 See if we can reach out there and touch someone. What was that? That. One of the saddest things that's ever happened throughout history of human people kind, which I fear faces us with Bigfoot Sasquatch kind going forward. It looks like it's moving, doesn't it? Is that many of these stories will be lost moving forward as they have in the past. Now, in the past, stories were often destroyed by conquering nations, tyrannical governments, but I fear we currently face a future epidemic where word of mouth stories will no longer be passed down by word of mouth, and it's going to be self-induced due to some amazingly decreased attention span and complete appreciation or lack thereof for the oral word. We've seen it with the written word, but now it's like people don't even want to take the time to watch any. I mean, like, it's like telling the story about, when Bigfoot knocked down my tree here a couple days ago and threw it at my house. I mean, to tell that story in such a way in which it's deserving of being told would take a good 18 minutes and 36 seconds. But that's not what the younger generation of our modern time is into. They don't have the patience. They don't want to hear stories told like that. They want to hear stories like that told like this. Bigfoot Sasquatch knocked my tree down. 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 Well, I guess that's short and sweet and right to the point. Simply the facts, ma'am. But what about all the events leading up to Bigfoot Sasquatch knocking my tree down? I mean, that's an important part of the story. Like, remember that one time? Bigfoot Sasquatch just threw a walnut. 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 I mean, that's pretty important. So you have the build up, you know? I mean, because if you hadn't known that kind of stuff was taking place, for some time, or you might just think maybe just the wind came along and blew that tree over or something like that. That's why it's so crucial to have all the parts of the story. It's like a puzzle. I mean, didn't this younger generation grow up doing puzzles? Because it's not just about the time the Bigfoot Sasquatch knocked over my tree, or the time the Bigfoot Sasquatch threw walnuts at me in the field. I mean, you know, people are always going to eat. There's always going to have to be farmers and homesteaders and people who raise the food to feed the people who don't raise the food. So with these stories, we got to pass on warnings of, I mean, what about that time Bigfoot Sasquatch killed my chickens? Bigfoot Sasquatch killed my chickens. Bigfoot Sasquatch killed my chickens. Bigfoot Sasquatch. I mean, you certainly don't want to forget about that kind of stuff. You know, it's gotten eerily quiet up here in these Bigfoot Sasquatch woods here just in the last few minutes. It's one of those eerie quietnesses, kind of makes me feel like it might be time to call it quits for this little squatching episode here. What the heck was that? 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 Where did he just go? 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 Where did he just go?